Welcome back, everybody, to Lonely Rider's channel. Lonely Rider is not a professional mechanic and is not responsible for any personal injury or vehicle damage that may result from individuals attempting the repair shown in this video. You have been warned. Try at your own risk. Today, we're going to continue talking about the different modifications that are commonly done to the first generation Z1000. Last time, I covered the secondaries in the throttle body and how to bypass those. Today, we're going to talk about what is known as the airbox mod, and as you can see, I have already removed my airbox lid. In order to remove that, you have to remove your seat, of course. You have to remove the bolt for the gas tank, the bracket for the gas tank, which sits underneath there. And then, of course, you have to take the two Phillips head screws out right here, and you have to lift the airbox lid up and slide it out that way. This is a stock Gen 1 Z1000 airbox lid. Do you notice a problem? Unfortunately, the Gen 1 Z1000s were just heavily restricted from the factory. Between the ridiculously restrictive exhaust, which you can see, I still have the original exhaust here, and this tiny little opening that is supposed to feed the entire 953cc engine, it was just choked off from the factory. And part of the reason for that was to meet emission standards and da-da-da-da-da. So this is a stock airbox lid for a Gen 1 Z1000. This is my airbox lid for my Z1000. Do you see a difference? So again, this is another very easy modification to do to this bike. You just take the airbox lid off and you basically just follow along this square indentation into the plastic there. Just zip it off with a jigsaw or something like that. Cut that whole portion out, and then for the top, you're going to also want to cut off a big portion of the scoop. I will tell you though that some people out there, because everyone kind of has their own version of this mod, some people out there will tell you to cut the whole scoop off. I don't recommend doing that, and I'll explain why. You want to keep some of the scoop on to kind of help catch the air. And the reason for that is because this bike still has the old setup of having the air intake in the back underneath of the seat, whereas, you know, modern super sport bikes, race bikes with the full fairings have, you know, the ram air scoops that come in the front. This bike pulls in the air from back here, and the problem with that is the air comes in the front of the bike, it comes into the airbox opening, which is right there. So the air has to come in this way. It has to do a complete 180 degrees right there, come back the exact opposite direction, and go into the throttle body, into the intake of the engine. And so naturally, you want to leave some of that scoop on there because you want to still have something there to catch the air as it's coming in this way and kind of throw it around in the circle to go into the motor. If you just zip that thing completely off, the air is just going to want to pass over the hole and continue on through the back of the bike. And the only thing to grab it is just going to be the suction of the engine trying to grab it and pull it down in the hole. So basically, by doing this modification, you're greatly increasing the size of the snorkel going into the engine, allowing a lot more airflow to go into the engine. The only way to increase the airflow into the engine even more than this would be just to remove the airbox altogether and go to filter pods, which you could do that, but then of course you have to retune the whole bike again. I didn't want to go quite that far with it. I kind of wanted the bike to look stock, so I just did the airbox mod and I just kind of left it there. So that's it for the airbox mod. It's another very simple mod. It's commonly done on this bike. It's done usually in junction, obviously, with putting on an aftermarket exhaust for higher exhaust flow and higher airflow for a performance boost, and then of course adjusting your fuel controller. But that's one common mod that people do to this bike because it's just so closed off from the factory. You're not going to get any kind of performance with a snorkel that size. It's just not going to happen. After you're done modifying your airbox lid to put it back in, of course you've got this lip right here. That lip, if I can show you with the camera real quick, fits down underneath that slot right there. So you don't want to damage that clip because it has to go in that slot. So you slide it in that slot, just like that. And you push it the rest of the way down in. And put the screws back in. All right, catch you later.